What is the difference between fantasy football floor and ceiling? Imagine you're trying to pick players for your fantasy football team and want to know how safe or risky they are. That's where understanding the difference between a player's floor and ceiling comes into play. When you look at weekly player updates, you'll see projections that help you gauge what to expect from each player. But knowing just the average points isn't enough. You need to understand the lowest and highest points they could score to make smarter decisions. The floor is the minimum number of points a player is likely to produce in a given week. It's based on their usual involvement in games, like how often they get the ball or how reliable their team is in giving them opportunities. For example, if a running back consistently gets around 15 carries a game, their floor might be around 10 points because they're involved enough to avoid scoring 0. This helps you see which players are safe bets to at least give you some points even on a bad day. The ceiling is the highest number of points a player could score in a week. It shows their upside or potential for a big game. Think of a wide receiver who is the main target in the red zone, or a running back who can break off long runs for touchdowns. These players can explode for 30 or more points if everything lines up perfectly. But they also tend to be more unpredictable, sometimes scoring very little if they don't get the ball or the game plan doesn't favor them. Knowing the difference helps you balance your team. If you want consistency, you'll look for players with a high floor who won't hurt your chances. If you're chasing big wins or playing in tournaments, high-ceiling players can give you that extra edge. When you review player profiles and weekly updates, pay attention to both. If a player's projected points are high but their floor is low, they're a riskier pick. Conversely, a player with a steady floor might not win you the week but can keep your team afloat. In practice, you can use these concepts to decide who to start or sit. For example, if a player has a low floor because of injury or tough matchup, you might bench them if you need safe points. If they have a high ceiling, you might risk starting them in hopes of a breakout game. It's all about understanding the range of possible outcomes and using that info to make smarter moves. So, in simple terms, the floor is what you can count on to get in points no matter what, and the ceiling is how high they can go if everything goes right. Both are key to building a balanced and competitive fantasy football team each week.